When everything looks perfectly identical, does it still feel special? And when you touch silk, are you really searching for something special? Have you ever stood in front of an impressionist painting and noticed how nothing is sharply defined? Yet, everything feels alive. The light shimmers, the color vibrates, the moment feels fleeting, almost like it's breathing. And yet, when you step closer to the painting, you don't see perfection. You see brushstrokes, visible, layered, human. And that detail teaches us something profound. Not only about art, but about fabric. Impressionism was never about perfection. When Impressionists began painting, they broke the rules. Instead of rigid realism, they painted something far more difficult. Light, atmosphere, and motion. They were not trying to capture something look like. They were trying to capture what it felt like. A garden wasn't simply flowers, it was sunlight dancing across the petals. A figure wasn't just form, it was movement, air, presence, and a magic. It was never in perfection. It lived in texture, in layers, in visible artistry. Fabric behaves like light. But something interesting happens when we move from canvas and we look to the fabric. Silk behaves almost like light itself. It never reveals itself all at once. It shifts, it reflects, it absorbs shadow and glow at the same time. And when silk moves, it changes. The angle of light changes it, the movement of body changes it, even the mood of the person that is wearing changes it. Just like Impressionist painting, silk is never static. It's alive, and this raises an interesting question. Let me ask you something. When was the last time a piece of clothing actually felt alive? Not just beautiful, alive. Because most items today are designed for precision, uniform, controlled, perfect. But perfectionism often creates flatness, and flatness removes depth. Texture is what creates emotion. The light irregularity of a hand-roll hem, the softness that comes from the human touch, the layered vibrancy of color printed into the silk. These are not imperfections, they are brush strokes, and brush strokes are where the artist lives. Now we know that movement creates emotion, and Impressionist paintings were fascinated by the movement. Wind through trees, water in motion, a dress caught mid-step. They understood something powerful. Movement creates always emotion. And fabric does the same. When silk moves with you, it becomes part of your gesture. It amplifies presence, even the smallest motion, turning heads, adjusting your scarf, becomes expressive. And that is why certain fabrics feel powerful, because they do not simply sit on the body, they participate into the story. And the hidden difference, that is something many people sense but rarely articulate. Because most clothing is produced to be identical, uniform, predictable, controlled. But when everything becomes identical, something disappears. Like atmosphere, like emotion, like character. Most garments are surfaces. Very few are experiences, and the difference is subtle. But once you notice, you begin to see it everywhere. This philosophy lives at the heart of RALUFINEART. Each piece begins as an artwork. Not as a product, not as a trend, as emotion. And when I design a scarf, I think, how will light touch it? How it will move with you? What will it feel like when someone wraps it around their shoulders or neck? Color is layered intentionally, not to sit still, but to breathe. Our hand-rolled hems from Como Lake are like visible strokes of a master. Not mechanical, no, because they are human, alive. Just as Impressionism rejected rigid perfection, RALUFINEART embraces organic refinement. Because true luxury is not about flawless uniformity. No. It's about depth, emotion, texture, presence, emotion crafted. Impressionism teaches us something timeless. Beauty is not defined by perfect lines. It lives in light, in movement, in feeling. Fabric, when crafted with intention, can carry that same philosophy. It can hold atmosphere, memory, presence. So when you wear silk, you are not just wearing material. You are wearing light, you are wearing art. And perhaps you are becoming part of the camera. If you feel drawn to wearable art that moves like in a painting in sunlight, I invite you to explore RALUFINEART, where silk is not simply seen, it's felt, because what truly feels special, it's never identical. Well, here is Ralu, founder of RALUFINEART, signing out.